Go into virtually any office and you'll see computers on desks. The rapid introduction of cheap computers has meant a radical adjustment of working methods for millions of people. The Sunday Times recognized the need for computer education, and as a result, we launched this Computer in Business video library, because we had no idea they'd quickly become the best-selling instructional videos in Britain, with sales now totaling well over 50,000 copies. It's easy to see why the series has become so popular in businesses and colleges. The programs inform and explain about many aspects of computing in a clear, positive, non-technical way. Not only are the videos easy to watch, they have been well researched and are backed by some of the best names in the computer business, and of course made to the standards and quality you'd expect from the Sunday Times. You'll get a flavour in this video why the series has proved to be so effective and valuable in training courses throughout the UK and abroad. And of course what it's done for them, it can do for you too.
Are computers really the cure for overwhelming paperwork? Well, they can be, but only if you know what their capabilities and benefits are. The Sunday Times Computers in Business videos, 18 tapes in all, have been made specifically to help the newcomer to business computing, to explain what the various types of computer programs can do, and give guidance to managers making computing decisions. These comments by the SEAT car company are typical of those we frequently hear from the many multinational companies using them for staff training.
We have in fact 12 area managers based throughout the country, and we send out the videos. They can learn at their own pace, in their own time and in the comfort of their own home. The language and the level I think are ideal because computing is such a difficult thing to instruct and train anybody in. There are so many computer terms and buzzwords. But the way that they are instructed and highlighted on the screen, it takes you in a nice, basic and simple way.
SEAT aren't alone in using the videos for training staff. From major corporations to sole traders, from universities to people studying at home, the programs are proving invaluable as a basic introduction to information technology. But these aren't dry instructional videos. No technical knowledge is needed to follow their easy-to-watch magazine style, carefully designed to run at the speed of the individual viewer. Even the occasional musical diversion has a computing connection. This is an item showing how a fast-moving industry like the fashion business needs the new technology to stay on the road. But before we run through the titles, let's take a longer look at the structure of the programs, since they have a freshness that's unique in teaching videos and have a mix of instructional techniques which has proved to be very successful and popular. Music, drama and humour are used where appropriate to illustrate a point. For example, this is the introduction to the video about a computer program known as a spreadsheet, which might well solve this man's problems.
Wage rates are up again next month.
Mr. Johnson, I've taken on 2 new girls. They start on Monday.
No interest rates have changed. Right, I've had enough. Spreadsheet.
Throughout the videos, we relate computers to real-life situations, taking the cameras into working factories and offices. We meet genuine users of computers across the whole spectrum of business, not teachers, academics or computer programmers, and they tell us, in their own words, how they use the machines. In many cases, they're still learning themselves, but already the benefit of computerization is apparent.
A marketeer may come down and suggest we do a promotion, for instance, with a penny off and a promotional offer. That may or may not make money, make bottom line profit. He may go away, therefore, and rethink. It's quite easy then, within the context of the spreadsheet, if he comes back, for instance, let's say 2p off, to actually evaluate that promotion.
After hearing about real-life applications, we move back to the studio where presenters John Humphreys, Andrew Neil and Rod Sharp explain and demonstrate the ins and outs of the machines and the programs. It's one thing to hear that computers can be easy to operate. Watching it happen is the proof. So here is John Humphreys explaining on a live computer how to get started with a spreadsheet. With non-technical explanations and close-ups of the screen, John shows us how, with a little training, anyone can work these programs.
Here the computer is being told to add up or sum all cells between B4 and B2. And there you see the total of apples sold in the quarter is instantly shown, and once more we can copy that formula across into the other two columns, which show first the total number of boxes of pears we've sold, and in cell D5 the grand total of all fruit sold in the quarter.
Throughout the videos, the level of instruction is designed to inform on a general level, to give the viewer an indication of the capabilities and power of the computer applications, rather than a step-by-step guide to specific programs. Following each studio sequence is the final element of the video's unique teaching method, the recap, which reminds us of the key points of the demonstration we've just seen.
So the main points to remember so far are: 1. The spreadsheet is made up of rows and columns forming a series of cells. 2. Into these cells go text, numbers or formulae. 3. Change any of the figures in the spreadsheet and the whole spreadsheet is automatically updated.
Now we'll take a quick look at the 18 videos in the library, and the obvious place to start is with choosing a micro. There's more to buying a computer than choosing a pretty case or buying on price. You need to know a little about what goes on inside and the differences between the various types of computer.
This is the main printed circuit board from a desktop computer. And here is the microprocessor chip that is the brain of the computer. It's this chip which dictates, more than anything else, the characteristics of the machine.
And after some advice from independent computer consultants, you can do as we did. Compare makes, check out dealers and service. In short, follow the points on our checklist to the right machine for you. For some people, operating a computer can bring another set of problems, an incomprehensible fog, and the manuals don't help much either. But we have a video that will. In Your First PC, we explain the basics of operating a PC and translate some of the computer jargon into real English. Okay, you've got the computer, you know how to work it, now you need some really useful programs to run on it. What are other people doing? What area of business will benefit most? Getting first-hand experience isn't easy, yet it's vital for colleges training tomorrow's managers. Here's Kay Henning of the Strathclyde Graduate Business School.
We use the videos primarily on our MBA management programme. We also use them on undergraduate and postgraduate management programmes. I think they're special in two ways. First of all, they show a contemporary application of computers in business, which I think is quite difficult to get on film. And secondly, they show the practical application of computers in business, so students get a good feel of how computers can contribute to business efficiency. They come over as being very professionally made, and also they seem to be one of the very best on the market.
It's well known that most desktop computers are used for word processing, and there are 2 videos in the Sunday Times library on this subject. Here's Belle Mooney recounting one of her early experiences with the word processor.
There came the day when I had to change the name of a character in a children's novel. This was after the 4th of July. I started a children's novel. And I had called one of the characters Beryl, which is a northern working-class name of really 40, 50 years ago. And I suddenly realized that this girl is supposed to be 26, and she would not have been christened Beryl. So I decided to call her Angie, probably inspired by EastEnders. So I got my manual out and discovered how to do global search and replace. And rather nervously typed in the commands, replace Beryl with Angie, and sat back with a delighted grin as it went whizzing through, and it was done. Wonderful.
And from word processing 2, we find Rod at his computer.
Stored in the computer's memory is a list of page layouts for a variety of common documents. There we are, a list of various paper sizes, variants of A4, A3, A5, and labels, and so on. You can use these as they stand, or customize them for your specific needs.
From words to figures, there are 2 videos dealing with business accounts, and how to computerize your accounts. The accounts video shows us what benefits can accrue from having the machine do the work.
At the same time as raising the invoice, that invoice is posted to the customer's ledger card on the computer, and obviously the same for credit notes. At the end of the month, we process statements, send the statements out to our clients, which now that we're on a computerized system takes 3 hours. Before, it used to take a day and a half. And hopefully at the end of it, we get some checks back.
We've just received an order from one of our regular customers, Paul R. Cox Garages. So let's see how the computer deals with sales orders. For each account, the computer displays the delivery address for the goods and where to send the invoice. Again, it's the elimination of repetitive tasks which is helping to speed up our accounts procedures. The computer knows the date and automatically inserts it, and it will allocate a sales order number when it prints it out. Now, the beauty of an integrated system like this is that it can pull together all manner of information from different areas. For instance, it also stores details of stock levels. So it enables us to see whether the item required is in stock before we sell it.
And the video How to Computerize Your Accounts illustrates just how you transfer your accounts from a paper-based system onto a computer.
If your manual accounts are in a mess, then computerizing them will create an even bigger one. Some people think that the computer will solve all their accounting problems. But it's worth stressing that if you don't have a reasonable understanding of how your company's accounts work, simply computerizing them won't change anything.
Accounts programs are dedicated packages, whereas spreadsheets have a flexibility that makes them suitable for a wide range of applications. There are 2 videos on spreadsheets, and we saw some excerpts from these earlier. Even so, here's another, and it's a very unusual application, cataloguing Roman nails.
First of all, I put on how many nails belong to each particular size range. These are the lengths of the nails, possible lengths of nails in millimetres, and these are how many nails belong to each size group. And you can look at that in graph form, and the pattern looks like this. The number of nails rises until the majority are in the range of 50 to 60 millimetres, and then they fall off. Larger nails are not so common.
Another common use for desktop computers is the storage of records, the electronic equivalent of the filing cabinet. These are the programs known as databases. There are 2 database videos. Here, from the first program, is John Humphreys.
Now, all databases have some things in common. They all comprise records. If you think of our card index as our database, then each card is a record. Each item entered on that card, a name, a date, a phone number, is a field.
And we join Rod as he's designing a simple database on the studio computer.
It's a good idea to make the program idiot-proof by restricting or validating data as it's typed in. There are several ways to do this, and one is to template the entry. A row of X's in a field accepts any character, but typing in AA9999 tells the computer to expect 2 letters followed by 4 numbers.
Desktop publishing programs can transform the look of a company's documents, but it can be a heavy investment. Like many small business people operating on a tight budget, Jennifer Pinder wanted to be sure where she was heading.
I bought the desktop publishing one, and the reason I was interested in it was because to do things like brochures for the practice, to do information leaflets for patients. But I didn't want to start out to go and buy a desktop publishing system with no prior knowledge. I thought that I would probably get ripped off, or I would buy the wrong system. So that's why I bought the video. The results of having watched it was when I went out to purchase a system, that I felt more confident in dealing with the people who were selling it. I seemed an educated consumer rather than somebody who knew nothing about it, really.
There are 2 videos in the series on DTP. In the first programme, we find Andrew Neil at Farnborough.
Farnborough Air Show is an international shop window for some of the world's most sophisticated aerospace technology. Buyers and enthusiasts from around the world come here every other year to see the latest in aviation. But it's not only the aircraft which are breaking technical barriers. News of events at Farnborough is reported daily by 3 specialist magazines, all competing with each other to provide the best and fastest coverage. For the first time, Flight International is using desktop publishing to produce this magazine on site. A small team of journalists has 1 working day to produce each edition.
And in desktop publishing too, Rod makes his own press release, combining a photograph with the text.
The problem now is to get the photo into the computer, and this is where we use the scanner. It's designed to cope with 2 types of black and white image. A line drawing, which is a sharp black and white image, like the Ford New Holland logo, or pictures having various shades of grey, like Andrew's photo. The photo goes on the glass plate. And close the lid. Tell the computer to start the scan.
But the ultimate in design and layout on the computer must be CAD, Computer Aided Design, and this is the title of one of the latest additions to the library. This video looks at computer systems which enable complex designs and structures to be designed, tested, modified and put into production without wasting valuable resources on blind alley prototypes. Once you have an understanding of the capability of the computer in the office, you may want to consider what the effect would be of introducing computers into your own business, or reappraise your existing implementation. The video Developing a Business-Led Computer Strategy looks at how to get the full benefits from computers by making sure that they meet your business needs. This video could save you literally thousands of pounds, perhaps your business. A common requirement in business is to connect computers together so that people in and out of the office can share information and other equipment such as printers. There are 3 videos in the collection which deal with various aspects of making computers speak to each other: networks, communications, and teleworking. Networks has a simple explanation of the technology involved and the benefits of linking a company's machines together.
When one computer wants to communicate with another, it sends a message onto the bus with a delivery address on it. Each computer is constantly checking the data on the bus and will ignore all but those messages that it recognizes as being for itself.
Communications looks at long-distance computer link-ups, electronic mail, and online databases.
If your business takes you overseas, then your micro can help. This is the official airline guide, a worldwide airline timetable, the industry Bible. It's also available online. The OAG computer is based in Chicago. I can access it through MercuryLink 7500 by dialing a local number. Now, from this micro, I am talking to a computer in Chicago. I begin by telling it the town I'm starting from, in this case, Grimsby. The destination, Sydney. The date I want to travel, May the 25th. And the time I want to leave, around 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
And the third program in this trio examines teleworking and the practicality of using long-distance computer communication for people to work away from the office, perhaps at home. The video explores management attitudes to having a remote workforce and the unexpected benefits it can bring to both sides. Finally, to the last video in this selection, computer security. The more that organizations use computers for storing their data, the greater they are at risk. So this video looks at the threats and suggests some precautionary measures against information loss due to machine failure or accident. Espionage, or hacking as it's come to be known. Or computer viruses. Just what are they? And are they really a threat? The Sunday Times Computers in Business Library has proven to be an effective medium for teaching information technology to non-technical people at all levels. And being self-contained video packages, they can be kept for training new staff as your company grows. There are 18 titles in the collection, which for convenience have been grouped into 2 sets. The first is Computer Concepts, in which the videos concentrate on common business software and systems. And the second set is Computer Topics, which covers essential issues for management. The titles are listed in full on the back of this video's case. The videos are outstanding value for money, being a fraction of the price you might expect to pay for traditional business training videos. They can be purchased either singly or by the set at a substantial discount. And we're so confident that you'll be satisfied, we're offering a 14-day money-back guarantee.
There's just a quote there from one of our zone managers who actually rang up to say how good the film was. And he literally said, if you don't have a clue about computers, the films explain in simple English everything you need to know.